Hold on. That's on Obama. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Welcome back to another episode of Cut Different. Hashtag Cut Different on all social media networks. Make sure you follow us, like it, subscribe, share it with your friends, have some conversations. We got Nick in here.
Yup.
At least he didn't do And always, you know, Nick in here with that interesting
Next.
whatever.
Next.
Got my brother T in here.
Hey, what's going on, world? We here.
Yeah, y'all born. And we got my brother Moshe Musala.
Moshe Ben Yisrael, Shalom Aleichem, and peace and greetings out there, y'all. How y'all doing?
How
y'all feel?
Right.
How y'all be?
Say it again slow so I know how to say it.
Moshe Ben Yisrael, and all that is Moshe, son of Israel. That's what it means.
Oh, Moshe Ben Israel.
That's it. Yeah. Son of Israel.
And we got the future panelists of the Singles Conference.
Yes, I am this week.
Sister Precious.
Hey, y'all. Glad to be here.
Yes.
And as always, your boy G, George, and Trisha's son. What's up, everybody?
Oh,
what's up?
Everything
I
good.
thought you talking to the... My bad.
Left me out there by myself.
No, you look good.
So, we got some interesting topics. Well, we actually really just got one.
One particular.
So, a lady, I'm going to make sure we share it on the page so that y'all can see what we're building around. It was a conversation on social media. It was a small clip. A young lady, not black, so she said.
So she said, yeah.
Yeah, she wanted to address black women and let them know that they are the bomb. Mm-hmm. They got the best bodies. Mm-hmm. They are some beautiful, scrumptious women. She didn't say that. I threw in scrumptious.
Scrumptious we are.
Yes.
Yes.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
So, back to what I was saying. So, y'all bad.
Yes.
Yes, y'all are.
She's basically praising them.
Yes.
Yes.
But she slid in a little nugget that if y'all were softer, y'all would get further. What say ye?
First of all, I want to know what we getting further in and with whom.
I think she was...
Because it sounded like she was only referring to relationships.
Man, could we play that clip? Can we get it?
Because
I think that would
give it copyright infringement.
Because when we're talking about being soft, that usually is stemming around our relationships with men.
Play the clip.
I think she was saying more like
they banned this
attitude-wise. Like if black women could control their attitude, they'll be further.
Further where?
As in where they need to be.
Where?
As in number one.
Right.
Like
Where?
she was saying before she said that, she's like, y'all number one.
Bodies, some of the most beautiful faces. If they just sometimes were a little more soft, they would be the winning race, yo. Like,
so why do you think they're not soft?
I'm personally not black, so I have no idea. But they have the best bodies and like the best faces, honestly, in my opinion. Like, yo,
black women
are winning in so many ways. I feel like everybody sugarcoats it, so I'm just being real. Why do you sugarcoat it? Right. No, you guys need to make a change, and that's a real thing. Like, that's why the women of other races are winning, and that's what it is. I'm too honest. I'm sorry.
Drop that mic.
Can I say one thing about black women?
So we've addressed. Well, we played what she said so that y'all can get a little bit of that. Well, that's all she said. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's just in relationships. I think even in some work environments, sisters kind of let their emotions get the best of them. Sometimes it's what she's saying.
Mm-hmm. I think women, period, we're emotional beings.
Yeah.
So that's neither here nor there. I don't think that that's something that can always just be a black woman thing, because women themselves are emotional. We were made that way. And while some of us are more emotionally intelligent than others, I don't want to negate the fact that women as a whole usually lead with their emotions. When it comes to black women, I take a little bit of an offense when a person of color, because she is a person of color, she just isn't a black woman, has something to say about a black woman needing to adjust her attitude or her behaviors. The reason why is this. No woman in the history of this country in particular has had the plight of a black woman. No woman can equate their story with ours. So when you're talking about be softer, you also need to talk about what made us be who we are, right? And the responsibility that is placed on us as women to lead not just a generation, but generations with an S of children by ourselves, to run households by ourselves. We're left uncovered in many instances. One can say, well, your attitude is what makes a man not show up. But is that really true? Because if we're good enough to lay with, then we should be good enough to stay with. And if you are making accompaniment with a woman and you can lay with her, then there's something about her that drew you to her. And if that only something was physical, then I would say the man is just as much to blame for who she becomes as she is.
That was interesting. I got a few problems with that.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I got a few problems with that.
Okay.
So
I agree with the ending part, though. We do.
The men are just as much to blame for a woman's attitude.
No, I'm talking about as in like you said, laying down with them and like procreating with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because if the woman sucks and you cool with making babies with her, and that you would walk away from your own seed, and you knew she wasn't shit when you started laying with her, that's a you issue. And you don't think enough about the thing that you created and what's in your body to lay with and create with this woman who ain't about nothing. Then and walk away from that and leave that child with the company of that kind of woman. What you think the community gonna become? What you think the next generation gonna become?
That's moving the goalpost though.
Is it? How so?
We're not responsible for y'all attitude.
Yes. Well, another thing, I'm gonna let you go.
No, please. I'm good. I'm chilling. But I'm being quiet.
Okay, so let's say we do.
On me too.
I'm sorry. Well, I didn't mean to. I'm
it's
sorry.
all right.
I wear size 11. If anybody.
Go
My
ahead.
bad. Just real quick. But so if we, let's say, okay, she's combative, and we leave y'all alone, that means we're going to women we're going to other races to deal with, to procreate with. If you want us to really leave y'all alone, if we really stuck by that word, then that means we would have to leave y'all alone completely. Like,
that's not true, because every black woman isn't combative.
Yeah,
and then there is a generalization that makes black women as a whole be something that we're not.
Right.
I don't have a problem with communicating with a man. I don't have a problem keeping my emotions under control. Ever. Right?
Yeah.
I come on.
No. I didn't want to interrupt you, but see, what she did was she just opened up a can of worms and then she ran away. First of all, I'd like to know her ethnicity, because she might mess around and be, black and not even know it. Yeah, and see, that's the thing,
That
man.
was the confusing part.
All of these other nationalities always want to imitate us, but they don't, like you said, they don't understand the complexity of our plight here in these United States.
Absolutely.
Now, this division that has taken place amongst the quote-unquote black family goes all the way back to the plantation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so before we can talk about how we can, restructure our family and build our family, we need to acknowledge some hard truths.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? When you read the Willie Lynch letter, like we spoke about, the I forget what what show that was, but they purposely separated the black man and the black woman.
Absolutely.
They took the biggest, strongest black man and humiliated him before all of the people on that respective plantation, and then took the second largest one and beat him to the point of death. And that in itself left our woman, our mothers, our grandmothers, whomever, in a frozen psychological state.
Absolutely.
To where they raised the men to be physically strong but mentally weak, because out of fear for what the master might do
to him.
and then raise the woman to be psychologically strong. You know what I'm saying? And so these are some things that we need to acknowledge. But me, I'm gonna always bring it back to scripture, man. If we can't have that as a baseline, then we can't have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And so being a spiritual man, I always go back to, like we said, and I'm gonna cut it off real quick because this is a complex conversation. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. You know what I'm saying? I wish for you to know that the head of the woman is man. Yes. But men, we need to know that the head of the man is the Messiah. Yes. You have to submit yourself to the Messiah so that you can't just walk around here demanding respect, demanding submission, demanding humility and all of that, and you're not humble and you don't submit yourself to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Almighty. Yeah. See, these are some things that we need to talk about within our community. I'll get on old girl but in a minute, but I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, the greatest leader is a follower first, right? And when you're talking about submission, especially from a woman, you know, she's going to look at her man and, like you say, how does he submit to those over him, namely Christ or whoever you believe is you know what I mean? Yeah. So we're looking at how does he submit himself to his God. How does he submit himself to the other men in his natural life? Who is he accountable to? You know, is he even fit to be a leader? But here is the thing, and I say all the time, you know, to a lot of women that I'm in communion with, if you are with a man that you can't respect, then you don't need to be with that man anyway. Right? If he's somebody that you find yourself always up in arms with, he's not the person for you. He's not your person. If you're with a man whose voice you don't trust, he's not your man. And you need to pass him on to the sister that's for him. Mm-hmm. So.
That was real nice of y'all. Why don't we just go ahead and throw in what Malcolm X said? Black women being the most unprotected.
There you go.
Yeah. Which, by the way, he retracted. Mm-hmm. Yes. Because you didn't see black women hanging from trees.
Wait a minute.
Mostly.
Right. I see where you're going.
Okay.
We were brutalized. Black men are brutalized on tape.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yes.
Right.
Since before they even had film, it was always a public lynching of
black men. Absolutely.
Men. So, that being said, I threw that out there just to get at the y'all too.
Right.
Since y'all bringing up all these beautiful points.
Okay.
I got you.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was nice.
So what's the point you're making from that? Is what Just so you feel like black men are uncovered?
No. What I'm saying is, y'all move the goalposts. This is a conversation about the black woman. Why are black women, in the words of Shiraza Ali, so very immune to criticism? We cannot publicly criticize the attitudes or the behavior of black women at all before somebody comes in defending their right to be mad. Defending their right to be disrespectful.
I don't think that disrespect is necessarily a right. I hate generalizations, and I feel like her comment was a generalization. I'm feeling like right now, even your comment is a generalization.
Absolutely.
Because I think sometimes we confuse being disagreeable with disrespect. Because disagreeing is totally okay. Disrespect never is, right? They're two different entities. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes, saying that, we don't want to be held accountable. I don't even sit in the company of women that I can't check.
That's just
you know what I mean? And I know many women who are able to stand not just what we would refer to as constructive criticism, but really being able to say, hey, sis, you messing up here, and here, and there's that. I had a gentleman in my house the other day doing some work for me, and I was on the phone with a person, and he was telling me, he said, man, before he left my house, he said, I'd never heard a woman say something like that to another woman. And guess what? She sat there and she listened to it, and she took it, and she was like, you know what, sis, you right.
Well, I want to say something, though.
Go ahead.
I hear a lot of those situations where women do say that they hold each other accountable, but at the moment they walk away from each other, they do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And then also, too, as well, it's cool if you can listen to your sister, but what about if you can't listen to your man?
Exactly.
And I think that the problem is that everybody's trying to prove that my way is right versus listening for understanding.
But also, you got to think about, you saying she listened to her sister, but she don't listen to her man. She trusts her sister's voice. She don't trust her man's voice. That's a problem.
But that's a problem.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. That's a problem because that means that, like you said, if that means that if you're not listening and respecting his voice, then why are you there?
I agree with that. That's what I just said.
Because at that point, to me, then, see, that's why the accountability part, because it's on both sides, regardless of however it's coming. It's on both sides, because if you feel that way, then why are you staying? Because then that's a form of deception. If you feel like you're giving out the impression that I'm okay, I'm fine, but deep down in your heart, you don't respect him, you don't listen to what he has to say. Why?
Oh, I firmly agree with you, but I also, and like you said, because it is the responsibility of both partners, he too can say, listen, I had enough of your disrespect, and I'm going to go sit somewhere else.
I think that's what they're saying.
But I think, though, so here's the thing.
But leaving doesn't always mean he's leaving the black race. Again, he's just going to find a different woman.
So, I mean, I feel you. I feel you.
I mean, but if it's like back to back.
If he go out there, hey, love who love you. I got a white daughter-in-law.
But you know what I'm saying? Because my thing is this: like, I can be patient with you. In my eyes, I'm still being patient with you to see the change that I'm asking you to change.
Is that your job, though?
I know. I'm just saying it's not my job. But hear me out. I may be in that space with me. I may be like, I'm trying to get you to change. But in your heart, the other person, the female, the woman, she may be like, I'm cashed out already. I'm good.
Yeah.
So my thing is, at that point, whenever you feel that way, you don't respect, and you got attitudes, or you can, whatever the case may be, remove yourself. That's all. I've always been. That's always been my thing, because then it goes into something else. That's when it's deception. No matter however you put it, it's deception.
I think the perspective of relationships is the biggest problem. It's kind of like how people are with God.
Yeah.
You know, they think he's some being waiting to spank you when you do wrong. And I feel like a lot of women, black women, they may initially come into a relationship agreeable, and a lot of times later on, a lot of you, I know you the man on this subject, but but a lot of times going down into the relationship, it's like once that one thing happened that they expected to happen, because they're looking for it. Now I have a reason not to respect you. You just like the rest of them.
It's like a box.
Yeah.
So then you're talking about people who are walking around, you know, and this happens a lot, especially in the black community, you know, walking around with just unhealed trauma, you know, things that they just never let go. And a lot of times, you know, we just stack stuff on top of stuff, you know, that whole idea of sweeping things up under the rug. But as soon as, you know, here this man comes and he's trying to love me and look like he done walked past the rug and caught it on the end. So now you can see the dust coming from up under it. And, you know, that we have a responsibility to one another to really just take hold of, you know, what our stuff is. You know what I mean?
And to that point, I would say, you know, be honest with yourself and be honest with the person when you're going into the relationship. You know, like, and I really wish she was here, man, but my wife, she was the only woman that I ever brought home to my parents. You know, I was as forthcoming and as honest with her as I possibly could. I knew I wanted to make her my wife. You know, and I always tell her this. Prior to that, when I was in the military and all of that, man, I had no intentions on marrying or even being in a relationship, because I knew where I was and I was honest with myself. And to your point, I think more people just need to be, you know, and since we're talking about us, we need to be honest with ourselves.
Absolutely.
If you know you're not looking for a relationship, don't play with nobody's heart or with nobody's mind, man.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing, man. We need to be honest and stop bringing, I don't care about what the last man did to you. I am not these men.
You can't hold me to that standard. You can't treat me like that.
Right, there you go. Let's be honest. Let's start with square one and let's build.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Most of them would echo that you should.
Yeah.
You should sit here and tolerate and deal with what I got in me.
But like sister said,
but you know, I'm a woman, right? And I've encountered these same things in the dating thing from a man, right? So, you know, I can't love you because you still stuck on what, you know, Susie did to you or what Lisa did or what, you know, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, and you mess, and like you say, and here I am, somebody who's healed, whole, ready to help you, can, you know, a visionary, all of the above, but you can't let me do what I need. And guess what? I'm not going to let you bleed on me, you know, and ruin me because you don't want to deal with your stuff. I don't have to sit with that.
The majority of those conversations are from women, though. A lot of them.
What I hate about that whole idea is what I hate about
you can't possibly have the same interactions that we have with women.
No, of course the interaction is different.
So what we're saying, and what a lot of men, you can look at social media. They're all kind of saying the same things. Like, we want y'all to be a little bit softer. But if it's not a black woman having a private conversation with another black woman, we can't talk about it. So if we go public with it, it's going to get nasty. Because I just simply said, I just wish y'all would be a little softer.
And that's all.
But and define soft.
But my thing is this: though.
Let's
But time out though.
I want to answer a question.
Oh, go ahead.
But easier to approach.
Okay.
Agreeable.
Okay.
Kind. In
so
conversations.
you saying that you really don't believe that black women are kind?
I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm saying that a majority.
We talking about the majority of people. They're
hard
saying
to
that based on their
communicate
experience, they're saying that that's what they're experiencing. That they're not getting that softness, that tenderness, that affection. You know what I'm saying?
All these dudes can't be wrong.
I mean, we seeing those same podcasts from women. All the women can't be wrong. So I think we need to. I think the war of it all.
The books and the movies and the music had already came. We already know what y'all had to say. Y'all been bashing men, and I'm saying y'all. A majority of the things that were promoted in the black community. Look at our love. As much as I love 90s music and 90s movies,
yes,
a lot of them were kind of making brothers look bad.
Chasing.
Bad. You were bums. You was drug dealers. All of this stuff. Like, you find the only one that can find love is a dude on a motorcycle that ain't got no job. That write poetry. That's the kind of man I want. There is love, Hall.
He had a job. He quit to write.
But see, that's my thing, though, man. Let's crush that narrative, though. All of the stuff that they put out in Hollywood. That ain't us.
That's
man.
not real life.
You know what I'm saying? That's not real life. And I'm
not saying that.
It's the onus is on us. You know what I'm saying? The ball is in our court as the leaders of our respective communities, man, to show that it ain't all like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That it ain't all doom and gloom. And the one thing that I don't like about social media is that it always pumps up the negative stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you said that.
Absolutely.
It creates an energy.
News,
It creates an energy.
As a community, don't we do that?
But no. But what the brother's saying, though, if I may, is that it creates an energy where people focus on that.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if we talk about black women always just angry about stuff, or black men ain't nothing but this and this, you're going to have people in the comment sections that don't want to just jump into it. It creates an energy. It creates a level of hold on, Will, let me think about my stuff. And it may not be that. It may not be that situation. So I guess what I'm saying is that I understand social media does play an influence in it, but we have to still have a form of accountability too, and not be so. Right. And just because someone brings it up in a conversation to you, it's not meant for it to be defensive or be a war. Because you hear situations where, okay, I have brought it to her attention, and she got automatically defensive. Well, what is that supposed to mean? What do you mean I'm not affectionate? What does that mean I need to be softer? Why can't it be, well, okay, what is it that you need from me? What do you mean by being softer? In a sense of what is it that you need from me? Not a sense of, am I not giving you that? See, are you coming at me what? That's the combative side. That's the combative side.
Oh, no,
versus being an easy conversation. Because automatically when you bring something to what people say is that when you bring something to some of these sisters that they get very defensive.
I'm going to post that right now. You can go post that men ain't shit.
Yeah, and you can say that freely, and everybody's gonna
say black man. Every race is gonna jump in. Every
black
race.
Man ain't shit. Is most of those comments are gonna be supporting that,
supporting it,
making sure that's the truth.
Yes, but when
if you say black women ain't shit.
No, soft. They're not. We ain't gonna say that. Yeah, we ain't gonna say that. But we gonna say, as the sister said before the video, maybe if black women were a little bit softer. Boom! Then you're gonna have
they're gonna go
negative.
They're gonna look up who you talk to.
Yeah. And then kids. You don't even know what I've been through. You don't know what my story is. Okay, and that's trauma.
Exactly.
Again, exactly.
What you've been through doesn't approve.
Being nasty. Behavior. Again, we do have a responsibility to ourselves. I don't want to act like it's not a one. Who you are, how you behave. That is your responsibility. Right. You might not have been, it might not have been your fault that you experienced the trauma that you experienced, but it's definitely your responsibility to heal from it. And so we have to. It's so funny, but we have to take the time to sit with that. So one of the things that I notice about even some of my girlfriends, and I'm sure you guys, probably some of your friends, nobody wants to sit and heal after nothing. Nobody want to just sit and just be celibate. Okay, everybody trying to get ass. Okay, so you don't want to sit and be celibate. I said be celibate, my guy.
I thought we celebrated.
You want to, every relationship, by the time you on 2-3 dates, you already screwing. You know, and how can you really decipher who a person really is if you get skewed by being that intimate with somebody? You know what I'm saying? So nobody wants to sit with themselves long enough to be like, what is my own issues? And then even to be able to decipher and discern what somebody else might be like, hey, I might not want to get involved with this chick over here because she look like, first of all, she got 4 kids and 3 baby daddies. Okay, she got, you know what I'm saying? She working 3 part-time jobs and on every form of government assistance. Now, and this is not me knocking these type of women. There is certain things that come with that. You know what I mean? And you'll sit there like, you know what? I'm gonna go and save her. Here you is gonna try to be Captain Save her because she's beautiful.
That ain't even.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's other types too.
No, there's a lot.
No,
I was gonna say.
I'm about to tell you, it's another type of woman too. It's the ones that claim they're on the healing journey and they've been single for years. But those are the ones they double down on the bull crap. They reading all the books. They listen to all the podcasts. They making sure they stay single. Because your first conversation with a man after you went through these years of being isolated, and you built up this strong case that men ain't shit. Your first interaction with a man is going to be always terrible.
I was just going to say that being isolated don't necessarily mean that you healed. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
spending time by yourself don't mean that you are healed.
You have to do the work.
You know what I mean? I can say this, and this is just me being a very, I would hope to say that I'm a mature woman. I'm 42 years old, and I've had time and space with men, right? And I can say that I came to a point where I was like, you know what? I've been married before and all of that, don't, necessarily want to go back into that before I could just have time to myself. And the reason why I realized that I didn't want the responsibility of a relationship. And a lot of people don't want to own that. When you get with a man, I get with this man right here, and he tells me there is, and he tells me, listen, this is what I need from a woman. Every woman has to sit with the fact that, hey, it takes something in particular for me to be with this man. There's no universal equation for any relationship, right? So there's something different for each of us. This man right here might need me to cook and clean. This man right here might not need that. This man right here needs me to greet him at the door with a kiss. This man don't need that. What does it take for me to be with this man if that's the man I'm going to be with?
And I'm more to
vice versa, though.
Yeah.
Right. More to your point, I think we need to reevaluate what we perceive as attractive or what we perceive as beauty. See,
and that changes as you mature.
Man, what attracted me to my wife and what attracts me to my wife, and if y'all say the same, what will continue to attract me to my wife is her inner beauty. And her inner beauty is her mind. We met at school. Not saying that this is just my personal example, but
I ain't go to school.
Right, but I'm saying based on our conversation, we talked. You know what I'm saying? We got to know each other. I again, like I said, I brought her to my parents. Her father had passed before I got his permission to marry her, but I got her uncle's permission. Her father's brother. I knew her mother. I spoke at her mother's funeral. As a matter of fact, I was an MC. She was there with me through my sister's death. It now becomes a journey. She's a life partner. And see, going back to that nappy head wench on the thing, and I'm gonna call her that because she's ugly to me. But you see, your average Joe might look at her and say, "Oh man, she beautiful." No, they all got that same look, the mixed girl look with the
why
weave.
Is she all of that?
No, hold on, man. Because of what she said out her mouth, I could tell just by testing the spirit. I ain't got to see her. That spirit is talking to me, and that spirit is a vile, wretched thing. See, that's the thing, man. I'm telling you, Joe. Yes, from that. Yes. From that.
Yes.
You see, because black girls and blah, blah, blah. No, man, no. You don't have the right to say that. About my sister, about my mama, about my daughter. See, that's the thing, man. No, but we have to reevaluate what beauty is. You know what I'm saying? All the light skin, the BBL or whatever, and all of that stuff, the augmentation.
Which we don't want that, by the way. Most men don't want that.
Right, but that's the thing, because of what has now become popular culture.
Right.
That stuff is put out there, and now you might pass a beautiful woman because she may not look like, what the TV tells you.
She said we like to play with it. But just like all kids, just like men are just like all kids with toys, eventually you grow up.
You've been
Right.
through.
And that's not what I'm gonna want.
Right.
But
It's not a
and
requirement.
here it is though.
Nobody
You know, you
plays
get
with
to
toys forever.
that's true. But
True,
you
you
get
don't
to a
want
space. You know, you want the good woman after you done played around with and with this non entity at this point. You know,
Vice
you don't
versa,
want her
though.
no more. And so you
yeah,
come and
on
get
both
with the good
sides.
woman, and
That's
you
on
got a
both
certain
sides.
amount of
Yeah.
damage too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you played around with things that you shouldn't have been
I
playing
like
around
that
with.
narrative that
you
y'all
know.
was pushing out last year, all of last year. Every time I looked around, y'all want to be with us after your thing don't work.
Yeah.
And all of this. Well,
Credit
we gotta
bad,
choose to
dick
be
don't
with
work no
y'all
more.
when y'all got coochie issues and health problems too. That's when they want to slow down too. So it's
But see, that's the thing, though, big man.
Women be
Everybody-
trying to get wife young.
Everybody want to play around to now it's time.
That's
You
my-
look
that's
up,
my
you
point.
40, right,
Everybody's point.
right. You 40, 50 some years old. Now you want to try to get serious. No, again, we got to rethink. We got to reclaim our sanity back, man. Stop going to the damn internet for
agree.
all your information. Stop
Amen to
going
that.
to all of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop getting all your information from what this.
but they do.
But you
Yeah,
know what?
but
though?
that's what I was
Right.
just about to say.
Right,
The
right,
fact
right.
that this is how it is now.
I'm
But
still
see,
listen.
but that's the-
oh, my bad.
No, no, go ahead, bro.
Listen, I'm still in my 20s, right? And I date.
You
What? Do you date?
I'm terrible at it.
What I'm saying is, if I date and I'm trying to look for what y'all saying, and y'all let's say 40s, right? If I'm looking for that, and I'm only 20, and all I get is women who think, "Oh, men ain't shit," then what does that leave me with?
And they ain't even been through nothing.
They
dramatic.
really haven't even been through nothing.
And they
going
just
with
got
the
that
narrative.
narrative. They
They going
got
with
that
the
from the OG
narrative.
hooches.
But like,
Think about it, really, and especially us, right?
It leads you to go find whatever you're looking for wherever you can find it.
Which you ain't be outside my race.
Nobody cares if you
Man,
be
oh,
outside
they
of your
care.
race.
Love is
Love is love. We don't
Yeah,
care
love
if you
is
go
love.
outside of your race. We
Exactly.
just don't want you to think that
But
all black
I want to
women.
stay in the race.
Yeah,
They
but
do care.
But it's the race that don't like me.
they-
I'm talking about from the men ain't shit perspective.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
mean.
not
Like the
going
men
with
ain't.
that, okay. No, the women you've been encountering have been
And
that.
like
you
I
know.
told you
so
before,
it's like where you
there's been
looking
women
at.
at the church that I've talked to.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
they the
more
worst
them
ones.
than it's a lot.
How
of
can you say the church folks are the worst
And that's
ones?
just the truth.
Yeah.
But okay,
But
but ain't that what I'm supposed to
The,
like?
folk-
You
the,
supposed to go
folk-
through?
the church is full of traumatized people. It's
I
a
mean, the
hospital.
hospital.
Exactly.
Yeah, every place is, but again, that's where you have to discern. You know what I'm saying? That's getting back to the basics, man. Yeah, getting back to the scriptures.
treat
Test the spirit
people-
by the spirit.
And you treat people how you want to be treated, not
There
how
you
they
go.
treat you.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Not how you've been treated.
yeah,
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what the conversation from men are talking about. Because I want to stay focused on the fact that, on what she said,
right.
Okay.
and not who she is, because it could have been a black woman. It has been a black woman saying.
Right.
It has been a black man.
Right,
Say
right,
it.
right.
And they threw parties when this man died. Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
They threw parties.
That's
A
evil.
man,
That's evil.
somebody's father and son
Yeah.
still
That's
died.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because the
That's
fact that he
evil.
was talking about accountability.
Yeah.
And the fact is that maybe the delivery didn't come out the way it's supposed to, but the message was still the message.
Yeah.
And I think what she was talking about was the loss that y'all are experiencing when it comes to black men. You're losing us.
But are we?
Yes.
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 Are we?
Yes. Black women are losing us. Because you don't get too many. Most of the conversation that I'm a barber. If a lot of y'all don't know that, I kind of talk around at a lot of episodes, but I am, and most of the guys that sit in my chair for the last 20 years have the same conversation when it comes to black women, and they not all bad guys. I know more good guys
Yeah.
than I know bad guys.
Yeah.
I know more good guys than I know about the bombs and all of that stuff that women be talking about in a lot of conversations in the salon and on phone conversations on the internet. I don't know them as much as I know the good guys.
I know more good guys too. That's probably why my perspective is
And
different.
we kind of miss the fact that a lot of black men are more educated than they used to be. A lot of black men are going to school. HBCUs are full of black men going to school, and the PWIs they got a lot of black men too. A lot of black men are working. A lot of black men, by some of the statistics that we've talked about, black men want to be involved in their children's lives more than any other race.
You know what? And I want to add on to this. And black men are finally standing up for themselves.
Yeah.
we've been taking it. Because remember,
Yeah.
it was manly for a man to take a woman arguing, saying all that stuff. You're supposed to take it.
Yeah.
That was you supposed to take it. When you arguing
In
with
the
a woman,
black community, maybe, because I ain't never heard no white man stay with no
oh,
white
no,
woman.
but
that
we're
was
talking about the
lying
black
about.
community.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
you, that's the shit that's going off. That's how she is. And I've heard women say some of the most wildest stuff.
Wildest.
And they just push it off. Oh, she just mad. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know deep down inside how much she been saying that, how long she's saying that, how much of an emotional toll that's taken on that man. Because the fact that he's been told through his dad, to take it, son.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how they survive.
They'll tell you quick.
You did what I'm saying?
You
Now,
on child support still saying another $1,000 in the month. I'm like, you already get the $1,000, but I don't heard this from other men.
Yeah.
Like, you giving them $1,000 a month, and you send another $1,000 just for the extra. When I get them, I still have to do this, that, and that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that conversation keeps going like that's okay. I'm already giving you all I got.
Right.
You want me to get more? But before we go too far away from what the point I was trying to make, it's the avoidance of criticism of black women, and we can't never have the conversation. Like, we do need y'all to be softer. Everybody else has to keep speaking for us because y'all won't listen to us.
Exactly. The point I was, yeah.
I agree with that.
And why do you feel like we don't listen to you?
Bring it back to
But
like,
see, but the
You know,
thing is,
but
but
no,
tell me all
let me
that.
answer her question.
Yeah, please.
I know who you finna say.
I can't wait. I wanted to ask that question so your listeners can really hear the heart of a man. So
Say that again.
I say I wanted to ask that
Ask the
question.
question again.
Why do you think we don't listen to
Have you-
men?
Oh,
To our men.
See, I don't lost my point.
Nope, you go.
But I got examples.
Okay.
I've listened to women talk in conversations. I don't know how the hell y'all hear each other. It's constantly talking over each other, and everybody's making a punchline or another saying something else about something else, and it's a whole lot of that. And it's the same way in relationships or in communion. Just period. It's not good listening skills on in our community on both sides, but widely with black women. They don't feel like, because of some of the things that you talked about when it came to slavery. Not only did they, what do you think them women thought when they took those black men out there and mutilated them and beat on them in front of the black
And
women?
raped them.
I lost some respect for you.
Yeah.
I don't think if I get more respect, I give him more respect than I can give you because he's manning up over you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was purposely,
And you got to bring
psychological
me to
warfare.
his room so he can sleep with me.
And
That's
I'm your
another
woman.
psychological thing they was doing.
Absolutely.
And
Reading
when they
cards.
came to, I feel like a lot of the problems we're going through right now aren't that old though.
Oh no.
I feel like a lot of those problems came from the 80s and the 70s.
I would even say the
Yeah.
60s with
60s,
that
60s.
women's liberation movement and how
Yeah.
white women use black women to catapult that whole disrespectful, I don't need a man, that whole
Which they didn't
mindset.
need.
Right.
Y'all had our respect.
Right.
You know, y'all had more respect from y'all men than they did.
I was gonna say I feel like the feminist movement has never been a black woman's plight. Did we get sucked into it? Absolutely, but it was never our plight because we were always more equal with our men than any other race of people
Yes.
were.
I think they just flipped the script and made y'all like
Yeah,
the
they
face
just
of
put
it.
you
Yeah,
as
they
the-
just
as
put
the
our
poster
face out
child.
there
Yeah.
like it wasn't our plight because we
Yeah.
were always pretty much equal with our men. We was in the fields with y'all. We had to work jobs just like there was never a time that there was like 90% of black women was housewives. There was
Right.
never a time.
But back to the point,
Yeah.
the softness.
Yeah.
Going back to the
But no, but you know, and- but no, and-
softness.
Keep moving at all of this other stuff.
But get back to the what?
No,
It
but-
has
I
nothing
think-
to do with the fact that we're saying it.
No,
and
but
nobody's listening.
and I get that, but just that equation that we were just talking about, us working together and both of us having a responsibility to the family and the household. I think the reason why black women were still able to respect their men in those equations is because there was an understanding that, hey, you got my back as much as I got your back. And I think in this day and age, not a whole lot of us, when you think about there being about 73% of are children that are raised in a single parent home that is female led. When you think about that, there is 42.8% of black women who have never been married. When you start looking at those types of statistics, you'll see that most black women have never even been in fellowship with a man in a way that makes them understand hierarchy and authority and can appreciate patriarchy. I think one of the reasons why women like me are like we are, and why I don't have to be combative and all that stuff, and I can sit and hear correction, is because I've had example, right? And I've had relationship with men, right? From the family line, right? It wasn't an outside entity didn't have to come and teach me anything. I tell people all the time about, our relationship, and you guys have invited me to the man cave a few times, and I'll say, my brother, our fathers have passed away, but my brother is not the patriarch, right? And so when he says something, I listen because I understand that he loves me. I respect his heart for me, right? And when a woman has relationship with a man and she knows that she's covered, it's so much easier to become subject to him. And again, that goes back to the conversation we were having earlier. Nobody want to get to know anybody before you be intimate. And that in relationship has ruined a lot of things. And that I believe that's why God, definitely it does, but I feel like God created it to be the way that he did, like, hey, I don't want you to touch him. I think that was by design. When you can only connect with somebody from a friendship level, from an intellectual level, emotional, and connect that way before you become physical, it's so much easier to get through the rough.
It's a better foundation in that regard. I do agree with that, and I think that the sexual part, especially if it's premature, it does skew your judgment.
Yeah.
It does.
Because sex makes you become one with somebody. The Bible even talks about, if you lay with a harlot, a prostitute, you done became one with her. Right? So exactly. So now and if it's good to you, like you said, she around here fussing and fighting all the time. You still trying to make it work. Why? Because it was good to you.
Because you know what, and that's the problem too. Because a lot of people tolerate bull crap because the sex is good.
Absolutely,
the relationship is terrible because the sex is good. They will stay and deal with the bull crap, and that's terrible.
I stayed with a man 15 years who I should have been gone in year 1 because he knew how to do it right.
Hey, I mean, we being honest.
Yeah. I never knew what,
talk about it.
Still does not address the fact that
he wants to talk about the softness
there in that woman. I'm trying to address the issue.
Yeah. I know that.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Whether you find out after you slept with her after a few days, or you find out 2 years later or 15 years later, the problem needs to be addressed.
And I think that there is a solution to the problem. The solution is this. Men gonna have to learn how to walk away and be okay with that.
No,
not only and not allow the back and forth. When we start to say that, hey, look, there is consequences for your actions, then
like
people gotta live with it.
Losers.
Go ahead, go please, go make your point.
No, I was just gonna say, man, more stuff like this, more open dialogue. Damn all the negative stuff. We need to shine our light. You know what I'm saying? How can a lampstand be seen if it's underneath the, underneath the countertop? Man, we got to let our light shine. Yep. All of that other stuff be damn, man. This podcast, this conversation, this episode right here, we need to have more dialogues like this so that we can have this discussion and so that we can show that there is another side. You know what I'm saying? Because I think so much, because I agree with what you're saying, big man. There's so much.
Why you gotta tell people I'm fat?
You can say that.
Oh, we keep going.
But no, more stuff like this to shine the light, to show that, hey, man, there are brothers who grew up in 2-family households. You know what I'm saying? 2-parent households. There are marriages that work within the black community.
Absolutely.
There are positive conversations that can be had, you know what I'm saying, with brothers and sisters like yourselves, man. Like this is the start to it. You know what I'm saying? And if we keep doing this, speaking truth to power, man, I think that, it might not be right off the bat, but I think that as long as we keep chipping at it, man, we'll definitely make a difference.
I have a thing where I like to, when I'm with somebody and I spend time, like, I need you to teach me how to love you, right? Show me what it is that you need from me, right? And, if I'm in the company of somebody where I don't have that inclination to even want to know how they need to be loved, again, that's not my person.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's
not
simple.
my person.
Again, discernment, man. We forget the basic stuff, man. Like you said, we get too captivated by the physical aspects of, relationship. Oh, he got money. Oh, he got this. Or like the guy, oh, man, she bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you forget to have those conversations. It's like, man, again, I'm using myself as an example. My wife was the only woman that I brought around my daughters. You know what I'm saying? I don't bring these other, no.
Can't do that, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want that. I knew, you know what I'm saying, at this point in time that this woman, this was it. You know what I'm saying? I knew that this was serious. And having that mindset, I made the necessary provisions to show this woman that, hey, I want this to be for a lifetime. I want to make this work. You know, we go through our bad stuff. Everybody does.
Of course.
But, you know, again, rendering unto the woman as the weaker vessel, understanding, like you said, sister, that, you know, sometimes she may, you know, get a little unstable emotionally. Hey, I have to understand that, all right, okay, we're not going to argue now.
Yep.
Let me go, you know, and walk, and then I'll come back, then we'll talk, or whatever the case may be. However you choose to work it out, we have to find, you know, we have to come up with some concrete solutions, not just abstract ideas on how we gonna come together as a people, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to listen. You gotta be able to listen to each other versus you gotta be able to listen. Yeah. That's the thing, especially when we have these dialogues. It's not about proving who's right, who's wrong. Yeah. It's about understanding.
I didn't agree with nothing you said.
You can look because you can be right and be by yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can be right and you done broke up a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Or
I like it over here by myself.
Well, not just that, but you may be missing the whole point of what that person's trying to tell you.
yeah.
Because you're trying to prove that I'm right.
Yeah.
But instead of you listening to what they're telling you, what they need from you.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're missing the whole point because you're too caught up in your ego and your pride because someone said something to you about maybe a flaw or maybe something that is an opportunity. And we all have them.
I think it's kind of immature to be focused on who's right or wrong.
Yeah.
But you want to find solutions
to the
But the
problem.
problem
on that.
Right, but the problem is when you listen to dialogue, it's all about proof. Nah, you don't understand my point. You don't understand what I'm going through. Right. You don't understand. Well, baby, I hear that, but you don't understand the way you treat me. This is how you making me feel. Well, do you understand the reason why I make you feel that way? It's don't turn to something else, and you're missing the whole point.
And that's not soft. And that's what I just want to get out, and that's the part that we saying that's not the soft part. You're not listening to me. You're making, huh?
You saw the Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes both ways, but I'm saying this from a standpoint of both sides, men, women, whatever. That it starts with that. If we can just listen to each other, listen to what we have to say. Okay, I may not like what you're saying to, but let me hear what you have to say. Yeah. Because in that message, you may be saying something that I may be doing to you unintentional. I didn't even know.
Right.
Versus me trying to, well, you don't understand the reason why I even did that. Well, dang, first of all, I didn't even know that made you feel that way. That's my bad. I'm sorry about that.
Slow to speak.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of fires can be extinguished by just doing that alone. That comes from a level of humility and also softness. Because I'm listening to you. I could come with an aggressive approach and defensive approach, but I'm not.
Kind of aggressive now.
No, I'm delivering, brother.
But,
you feel what I'm saying? Like I'm coming from a different approach. I can be defensive, or I can just be like, you know what? Let me hear you. It may not. Let me just listen to what you're saying right now. Right. Let me hear what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying really is that I hear all that you're saying, but you want more time from me. You need more of my time. Or you need more of my attention. Or you hear what I'm saying? Yeah. I know the delivery may come off a little crazy, but let me hear what you're trying to say. Especially if I know that we're trying to build something.
Yeah, chew the meat, spit out the bone.
Yeah.
What you was going to say?
No, I was going to say, I thought about, the scripture where he was talking about, dealing with your wife according to understanding. When men take the time, and which is why I'm a real big advocate now, huge advocate, that before you enter a relationship with somebody, you really need to be friends.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be friends.
You just absolutely need to be friends and let a friendship organically grow into a relationship. And the reason why I advocate for that, because, that dealing with your wife according to knowledge, you can't really handle her. You can't, even when she is in those, emotional highs, if you know her, then it's easier to navigate her emotional roller coaster, and it's easier to draw her in. That's a leadership thing. That is, and God made you all as heads of a wife, right? And so,
it's not accepted either.
No, I'm not.
That head of the household thing is definitely not. A lot of people don't respect the order. I'm sorry. You can hear a lot of people let me say this. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's a lot of people that may know the order but don't respect the order. Yeah. They're like, damn my grandparents did that. Right. Daddy did that back in the day. Right. It's 2024. It's a new. Come on, brother. Talk to me.
Or you have women that seen their mothers or their grandmothers do that, and they had a negative thought about that.
A negative spirit.
They seen it like, you did that for him all the time. Like, you cook for him, you clean for him. All he did was come home from work and sit down. Well, if me mom was just at the house,
why
she can't cook her husband?
Correct.
Why you got a problem with that?
Yeah.
What's the saying?
And she's doing it not because she has to.
No,
She greeted that man with a smile and a plate and a kiss because she wanted to do that.
It's a level of appreciation.
Absolutely.
It's a level of being reciprocated.
Yes.
And one way
You
you
both
provide
working in this relationship.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of you on that. When you come home, the inside, I got you. Here.
Yeah.
On the outside, you got us.
Yes.
When you come in, I got you. But see, that's the
And
part.
some of them still worked, and the girls would get mad about that.
Yeah.
Like, mama still worked, and she did
And she
that
still
for him.
did it for him.
But it's what did he do for y'all though? What was he doing for her? And what do you know about the agreement they made?
Absolutely.
That this is how it goes.
Absolutely.
That wasn't your business.
Can I say something too?
Yeah.
And like these
Not like
people.
that.
No, bro. No.
I felt weird.
No. Let me say this right quick. No, because it just came to me. It came to me. You dumb. You made me lose my whole train of thought. Oh no. I was there.
My bad.
God. It was there. It was about to. Oh my.
Oh God.
God.
That's funny.
You killed it, bro.
That's funny.
You killed it.
Oh,
But no, it's a pleasure though. I think when a woman feels loved, even I know that in the last couple of years of my life, especially this last year of my life, I've had time and space with a really dear friend of mine, and the way he loves me makes me want to do better, and it makes me want to be better. And it's so easy to take a look at self, and really even come to a realization, okay, and here I am now, and not to say that I wasn't good to a man prior to now, but the man that gets me now is getting the very best version of me. And I think that that's a direct result of being able to lean into somebody loving me, and just on a different level. It's different than how my dad loved me. It's different than how my brother loves me. It's different than even how a former husband loved me. Right? It's I'm loving you from a space that I want you to just be who you are.
Right.
And as I understand you, again, going back to that, as I understand you, as I know you, it helps you to come to your own realizations about yourself that let me autocorrect.
It's a totally different vibe when you can tell when
Sounds
someone truly care about you because it's genuine.
Yeah.
It's just genuine.
No motive behind
it. It ain't because I wanted things, because I genuinely care about you. But when you have that, when you find that connection with someone, that's when you have that good dialogue.
Yeah.
That's where we start to really listen.
Yeah.
Because I really care about you to a point where I'm gonna make sure that whatever it is I can do to improve us, this is what I want.
Right.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
You did, and that's like what we've been talking about this whole show is the accountability part. Make sure that we match with the right person.
Yeah.
And that making sure that certain decisions don't get diluted by us.
Yeah. But again, you get but when you start to know people
in more than one
what
way.
it end up being about.
The spirit is flowing.
Yeah, but again, you gotta, when you get to a space where you meet somebody that make you want to, like, hey, I'm gonna get myself together because I'm gonna ruin this with this. Yeah. And I don't want to ruin this.
But you know what?
This is good.
But you know what, though? In order for us to be able to get to that place, it first starts with self.
Absolutely.
Because, like you said, we've been talking about this being soft. And you got to be willing to be a person that, hey, if I'm going to listen to you, I got, for me to be this person that's going to be submissive and all that, I got to be able to listen first.
Yeah.
I got to be able to listen. If I say I respect the order, know the order and everything, there's certain things I'm going to have to be soft about. I'm going to have to be a little passive about to a degree. Passive doesn't mean that you don't speak. Passive means that you just may be, let me hear what you're saying.
I think a lot of men have a lot of wrong information about submission.
Agreed.
As well as women.
Agreed.
Yeah. I don't think we're supposed to go into any relationship looking for somebody to submit to us.
No.
I'm not saying that's what you said.
Okay, go ahead.
This is just a thought I'm having.
Okay.
If you follow the word correctly, we all are spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
It does instruct us to submit ourselves
one to another. Mm-hmm. Yep, one to another.
And I feel like people just keep missing that. And submission is another quotable. This is what I was going to say. So, a quotable. Submission is only bad when you don't want to do it.
Correct.
So that maybe
It ain't submission unless you don't want to do
it's
it.
the quote when they hear submission, what do they say? It sounds like what?
Slavery.
Control.
But the thing is, though,
Slavery.
but
And then-
go ahead.
When
But,
really
okay,
it's a
and another
beautiful
thing-
song and dance between lovers.
I
You right.
love bowing my head to pray to God, not because I have to.
I get to.
Yes, I want to do that.
Yes.
I'm doing that for that reason. I'm just
That's-
talking about.
No, I'm
different types
agreeing
of-
with you.
That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
say
I'm with you.
why even talk about submission when if I know my role to come into this relationship and do what I need to do for you to naturally submit to me, I don't have to tell you about I need you to do this, and this to submit to me, because I know if I do this, then you should be able to just automatically tie with me and submit to me naturally. I don't have to tell you, hey, wash the dishes, hey, cook, hey, this and that. You doing it already out of love.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
When you call me and ask for milk on my way home,
Yeah.
I'm submitting to that. I'm gonna
Yes,
stop by the
exactly.
store and get it.
Yeah.
But when we think about submission, though, when you're submitting to someone, like when you submit to man, we submit to God.
Being
One-
agreeable.
Not even just being agreeable, but I trust you to lead.
And that's what I said at the beginning of
Because you
this.
submit, so I trust you to lead.
It all
I'm
boils down
submitting
to
to your
trust.
guidance, to your leadership.
Right.
It's not me. It's not me sitting.
It's not a
around all
dictatorship.
day
Right.
It's not a
trying to tell you what to
dictatorship.
do.
Right.
Leadership and dictatorship is two different things.
Two totally
That goes
And
different.
so
back to
that's
that-
why people
that
get it
goes back
messed
to that
up with the
saying.
submission part.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You
You
need
just
to
trust
understand it.
Yeah.
To understand that you trust me to lead. That's what it ultimately comes down to, especially as men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be with a woman if you don't trust me to lead.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Talk
y'all?
to me.
If
Go on, say it.
no, if I'm
Why you smiling?
no,
He already know. Go ahead.
no, if you were a carpenter, right? Would I come to you to fix my car?
No.
Okay. Then why y'all going to these? And I'm using air quotes.
You hate social media, don't you?
I do. With a passion.
I do too.
Because
It's
it brings it's a poison.
It brings so
Now
much division.
now
So-
there are avenues like this podcast. So there are ways
That's
that you can
positive.
use it to
Filter
be
it.
It's
yeah.
a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool.
It's a tool.
But so many people, because they are ill-informed and because they do not study to show themselves proven worthy of having these things, that they don't deserve it. See, people think, and especially here in the United States, you have this elitist mentality where you think that automatically you just deserve something. No,
Yeah.
man, anything worth having, you got to fight for it, and you got to earn it. So again, in a relationship, you got to earn my respect. You got to earn, and likewise, I have to earn your respect. And you do it. It's a trusting thing, just
It's
like
a
we were
trust
talking
thing.
about with the
I should give it
submission
to you,
thing.
I
So
always
silly.
say that. I agree with you. I agree with you.
No, I'm with
Well,
him
yeah,
though.
yeah, but no, I'm just saying I'm going to show that I'm trustworthy
Yeah.
to you. So that's maybe I'll rephrase it
Yeah,
like that.
I'm
So
with
that's
you.
the thing, man.
Yeah,
Stop
thank you
listening
for
to these.
rephrasing.
Yeah, listening to these people who then had 6 and 7 relationships that ain't worked. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like no, man. I want a subject matter expert. First and foremost, I'm blessed to have both my parents still, so I'm gonna go to them before I go to anybody.
Man, I still get a lot of
Man.
wealth and knowledge because
For
of my
real.
parents, and I'm blessed to have both of my parents.
Yeah, so that's
I
what
tell
we
you
need.
about
To,
lotion now.
you're so silly.
Where's the ass at? You can't see, man.
But that's what we need.
Right,
that's
what
what
I'm
we
saying.
need to get back to, man. Is going to seek the counsel of elders.
wise of the
And you know what I'm
elders.
saying?
That's
Just
what it
because you
is.
got gray hair on your head, don't make you no elder. There's plenty of old fools walking around here.
Old fools.
But you know,
Say that again.
but man, we
Used to be
need
young
to,
fools.
you know, within our communities, man, prop those people up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you got a social media platform, do it. I mean, just do a good video. Show somebody who this is, you know, my grandmother, this is my grandfather, this is my uncle, this is hell, this is my counselor, whoever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Start showing. That's where it's going to start, man. To get back to the whole
Yeah.
theme of this this podcast, to where we just have to change the way we think, man.
Yeah.
And change the way we just said, exchange dialogue, and just show
Right.
that we are comfortable being amongst each other. Just period.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Sisters,
yeah,
if I'm
that's
giving
what
you
I'm
correction, don't be so defensive. Don't try to bite my head off. I'm trying to help you.
Listen
You know what I'm
to us.
saying? I'm
Listen.
doing all this time. Right.
Yeah.
And,
You know?
and likewise, if you see me going down the wrong way, you my counsel.
Right.
Stop me if you know I'm gonna go out the door and you know some bullshit about to happen.
Right.
Don't let the shit happen. You
Right.
stop it. I don't give a damn if you gotta jump in front of me, baby. I'm telling you, I know it. I can't. You can be mad at me in the morning.
And
You dig?
we just have to learn to be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that that men are saying, just be nice.
Yeah.
There's
Be
nothing
nice.
wrong with that.
I'm going to be. You attract more honey with bees.
And you do what? Vinegar, salt,
Yeah.
vanilla.
Oh, I agree.
You don't attract gnats with that. I'm sorry. That's how I
He
catch
just
them in
been
my
hitting
house.
this damn speed bump. Damn show today.
He need to catch Uber.
With social media is I embrace things like that because they're just like any tool. You can weaponize a wrench,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but it doesn't mean it doesn't turn the boat for us.
Right.
Yeah,
I got you.
absolutely.
So
Go
if
ahead,
you use
Dig.
it wisely.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I got some more in the
Go ahead, bro. Start. Kill sunflower. Some of that.
But I think just in light, just to summarize everything that we talked about, there are so many things that we need to address in our community, and I think that's what we should be doing.
Yes.
Addressing the things
Yeah.
that we need to address and stop sweeping them under the rug.
Yeah.
Don't avoid criticism, women. Have the conversation. Instead of being mad about the conversation or who said it, let's talk about this. Is this a problem that I can identify?
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Just like with men. There's some problems with us that we need to talk about it, and if we can identify it being an issue amongst us, let's talk about it. Let's address those
Yeah,
things.
my mom used to always say, everybody ain't lying, right? So if you got multiple people saying the same thing, everybody ain't lying. So if women
Your
or we
mama
keep
said
hearing,
that?
yeah, my mama.
Your mom sound like my mom.
Yes, she is. but if there is a space where we keep hearing the same thing, girls, let me tell you, it is in your best interest to listen to what's being said. Take inventory of yourself and really just lean into, hey, what do I need to do to fix this? Because otherwise you're going to keep finding yourself in and out of relationships, and ultimately you want a life partner. You don't want to keep going in and out of dating pools. There ain't nothing out here in these streets. Please understand. So get you somebody who wants you, who wants to be with you, who wants to build with you. Give that man some grace. He's flawed just like you're flawed. You need to own the fact that you are flawed, and hey, adjust appropriately.
All right. I like that.
That's hey.
So before we get out of here, let's do our top 5. We got a few minutes. I don't want to hear that. I'm just asking y'all. No, I'm just joking. I'm sorry.
I was like,
I did that.
You know,
What?
I gotta get my list.
No, we doing top 5.
Five right there.
Top 5 of things that we should inject in relationships.
You want to go deep.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
top 5 things that we should inject in relationships.
And they can be concurrent. Like, we ain't got to do separate.
Yes, all together. Okay.
I mean, it's 5 of us.
I say,
My number one thing is consideration. Consider me.
yeah,
I was going to
that's
say
a good one. Consideration.
it's communication.
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 Better
Listening.
communication.
I'll say more of the listening part versus you being verbal, listening, and just hearing. Listen to what that person has to say. Communication. Bro.
What you
Oh
got?
man, love.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Love, man.
Amen. Brother love.
Hey.
Don't take everything that you see on, like you said, social media and TV into consideration.
No, we talking about inject.
Yeah.
So, in other words, you don't want people to be improperly influenced.
Influenced by
Yeah.
negativity. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think also, too,
Let me do mine.
you knew one?
I've been messing with him the whole show. I'm sorry, man.
I know, man. I'm done. I'm done. The hell with this.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Go ahead.
I forgot. See, that's the second damn time you don't do it. It's the second time you don't do it. Now, I now remember.
Oh,
I think also too is y'all try to have new experiences with each other.
Yes.
I think that's very important to not just do the same thing over. Try to create new experiences with each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Because that's how you learn about each other. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
And and the trust things come with that. Even
Yeah.
trusting just traveling somewhere internationally, knowing that I went with you this place and we came back together.
Yeah.
That's a form of trust. I know when we was there, you took care of me. We did this and that. That's a form of trust. You know, just try to gain new experiences.
Because I be out of the country with this dude, mindless to the mug. I don't even think about what's going on around me.
Travel, try to create new experiences. Yeah,
And to friendship.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what
important.
It's
I
so
think
important.
the foundation. We got fractured in the foundation of that.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
when you think about it, it's not in schools no more. The whole the whole teaching of like sharing and
Yeah.
friendship used to be a big subject, but unspoken.
Correct.
In school.
Yeah.
It was always something about like that's who you with today, or you do this project with this one. There's so much solitude now.
Yeah.
Everybody just on the computer doing their work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so individualized. That's the kind of community we have now, and we take that stuff outside of school and even in your home. Like if your mama buy this now, I've listened to parents with their children. That's just his.
And you know what that's bred? Something now where people talking about I ain't humble. You know what I'm saying? I ain't humble. I don't be humble and all of this stuff, man. And it's like I don't know where these people are getting this stuff from, but how can you not be humble?
Pride go before destruction.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. But see, again, that's the mindset that people have now.
Yeah.
They're very prideful, haughty, puffed up, arrogant. You know what I'm saying?
Arrogant.
You know,
Yeah,
like
that's a
man,
good-
come on, like that stuff, man. Anyway,
The arrogance,
that
that's a
ruins
whole nother topic,
relationships.
just arrogance
Yeah.
of human beings.
yeah, you know, I
Breeding
don't like that.
breeding ground for narcissism.
Man,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not a fan, and I don't subscribe to neither one of
Yeah,
those. I don't know deal with narcissists or arrogance.
yeah, man.
So this has been our 2 cents today, y'all. Y'all can spend them or save them. We did. We enjoyed our special guest today.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me in the man
Hey,
cave.
sis, what's going on, sis?
I was talking about Brother Moshe.
Disrespectful as hell, sis.
But Sister
He don't
Precious,
love me. He don't love me.
we really do appreciate you coming.
Thank y'all for having me.
And Brother Moshe,
As always.
you part of the team. You just don't know it yet.
Seems like you already got drafted first round, huh?
Yeah, we already picked you.
Yeah.
So, Brother Nick,
Yes, sir.
yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Brother Ty.
I thought you were going to ask me a question. I'm like, I was like, yes,
Shout out to
sir.
everybody on the show.
We good.
All right,
Good
T.
week. Good week.
And as always, George and Trisha's son. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, comment, or just talk amongst yourselves. Have these conversations with everybody you know. Check us out on social media. Cut Different. Hashtag Cut Different. Add to your posts. We out here, y'all.